Yes, we are going to start the next webinar of the gvSIG Festival. This presentation that is gvSIG applications in East Africa, Kenya and Somaliland. It will be presented by Giuliano Ramat, that is a rural development expert at the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation in Afghanistan, and Mauricio Fodera, who is professional land surveyor and GIS consultant at Studio di Topografia Applicata Fodera. So you have a link. You have the chat at the right side. You have the chat available where you can ask the questions, and we will be answering all the questions. And you also have the, if you don't see the video very good, you have a link to YouTube at the right side, at the bottom of the video, where you can open YouTube and you can change the resolution to 720 to see the video in a better way. So, Giuliano, you are going to start, so whenever you want.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mario. Good evening to all. I'm going to show a gvSIG case study that we carried out in southwest Kenya. You see, this is the area of the project, and this was in the frame of a project carried out by the Italian NGO CEFA with the support of private and public companies in the frame of a project funded by the European Union. And the main goal was to improve the situation of the Wheatley Hills forest through management programs. So what was the frame of this project? It was a 3-year project funded by European Union, started from 2010, and with something around 2,000 households beneficiaries, and direct, and about more than 100,000 people indirect. And then they said there was 2 months extension was granted due to the success of this project. And you see, this is the area in which a project was carried out. So you have some districts and location of the project. What was the goals of this project? Then I will focus on the GIS sections of this project. Was to increase the capacity of local community institutions and government, strengthened on community forest management. First of all, you have to think that this was the beneficiaries, that was no knowledge about the GIS, and also the knowledge of general mapping, how to read the map, how to read the satellite images, was really, really low level. So I think that when you start a project of development cooperation, you have also to think what are the beneficiaries, which are the skills, and in order to start from a common level. So they have to strengthen the capacity of local community for, let's say, sorry, it's doubled. Then it's not timber innovative income generation activities has to be identified, because previously this forest was just, they take the wood, the forest, and so they make the situation getting poorer and poorer. And then this is the part that we are going to speak about at the end of the slide. The implementation of GIS for forest management and planning. So first of all, it's very important when you start about thinking about cooperation, is the formation, the training of a local planning team for wire forest, because sometimes you have project cooperation without increasing the skill of local people. That's not so good. In this project, they strengthen the capacity, the technical skill of the team, local team. So first of all, they develop a participatory forest management plan. You see, like a participatory GIS, PGIS, it's a techniques that is increase his, let's say, his position in the development cooperation, because always when you make something and you increase the participatory of local people, everything is getting better and better, because they feel their project as something that belongs to them. And you see also some official documents was drafted and was given to local institution. So they establish and support the community with tree nurseries, and the central tree nurseries in wild forest. So you see, even if it's not directly GIS, this just to give you an idea that the importance of this area was mainly to create some alternative income generation activities in the area. Otherwise, the only activities was just to go cut the tree, legal or illegal, and then the forest is going to lose their value. As well, as I told you before, they assisted the natural regeneration without cutting. They enriched the planting by increasing biodiversity. And then the community was involved through employment of casual workers and community planting days. So to give a visibility of what they were doing, not only to technical like GIS, but to all citizens, in order to show how important it is to take care about forests and not just to take the product. So also remember that this community involvement is always a very important task. And the area under rehabilitation was about 215 hectares. So they, as I told before, no timber innovative identified and income generation identified and implemented. They do fruit production, so about mangoes, that was the most income generating plants in the area. Bamboo, that it was not directly for food, but for let's say construction and to support houses, and also multi-purpose hedgerows that can be sold to other villages, and so it was in a certain way income generation, not directly but indirectly. As well, now about GIS, we do some training from remote because the area was not easy to access, so it was easier and faster and cheaper to train people from remote. We use a simple Skype platform, but it was really effective, was really good. And we train 10 persons about GIS using gvSIG. We give a basic training because, as I told you before, they had no knowledge about this. We issue the gvSIG user official certificate. We give about, let's say, 40-45 hours of training with some exercises. For sure, the exercise was carried out individually out of the connection, but all the training was done online through Skype using gvSIG at this time 1.12. And see that out of the trained people, 7 was from local institution, and out of the 3 from the NGO, 1 was Italian, and the other 2 was local staff. So what we do, first of all, we drafted with them a field form that then it will be inserted in the GIS, but we will think about also about a smartphone application, but they were not so easy in using, so I mean the level was not so high, so we preferred to use a paper form, and was agreed with them. You see, it's not so complex, but there are effects. I mean, there are data that can be really collected on the ground. So we didn't want to have the risk to have empty values, empty spaces. So on the GIS side, we implemented a dedicated gvSIG portable version because we've seen that the portable version is much better than the normal one for this tool. So we have not to install the standard version, but we just copy and paste the gvSIG portable version, and we
Giuliano?
For example, whenever you open, you set this number of free species. For example, if you set the 2,
Giuliano,
only 2. Yes.
Giuliano. Yes, we lost you for a few seconds. If you can repeat from the last slide. And in this moment, we not see your slide.
So please let me check.
Share again your desktop.
Let me check. You see my face now or not?
We see your face, but not your slide.
Now?
Not again.
You don't see my slide now?
No. Try to share again.
Yeah, it's shared.
Huh.
So let me check again. Now?
Not again.
Let me see what's going on. I'm just trying to share the screen.
Yes,
okay.
at this moment.
Okay.
Yes. Now.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So from this you see that we have customized this field form, and you see that it's exactly the same of what was in the form, in the paper form, with drop-down list and with the easy to fill the date or the browsing to arrive to a photo path, and it is exactly the mirror of what was the form in paper format. You see some tools that we have developed that if you change the number of tree species, you are allowed only to fill this the same number. So if you fill one species, you will not be allowed to enter the second one. So it's a sort of control of the coherence of the data. And as well, when you select the natural forest, in this case, the list of species available will be linked to the kind of forest type you have selected. Then there was a lack of data. There was only some old paper that without any georeferencing. So we have georeferenced the ancient map, then we have drawn the limits, and we have loaded all of them into a GIS you see in gvSIG 1.12. So it's a sort of acquiring numeric data from paper data. So then we have developed as well the collected data in the fields, and there was 29 plots being surveyed. Out of them, 73 was with natural generation and other data. So you see, we were able to perform these different graphs with, let's say, this kind of representation, or with the in dot intensity. So there was maybe not so complex analysis, but it was already a starting point from a draft from scratch. There was nothing before, and now at least there is some data available. As well, we have collected available data on the web, such as hydrographic network from digital division model, some socioeconomics data, and administrative boundaries. So we have collected free data, open data from the web, and we have given to the local community a sort of group of open data can represent a starting point to implement new activities. Also, we have used Google Earth to draw some road networks, because you see maybe some routes were available but paths were not available at all on the line. So we have created some network from Google Earth. As well, then, together with gvSIG Association, we were developing some WebGIS in order to publish all the data and make them free to access for local decision makers. And this platform was translated in local languages and then open access. And we can replicate it also for other forest areas in the regions. And it's easy to use and update regularly from local user. So then you see, like me, that the WebGIS, the functionality, we can choose layers, load, edit, zoom and pan. So it was really user-friendly interface. And see, this is what was the project on desktop with gvSIG. So we are several elements with some use of the collected data. This was the easy way to query the WebGIS developed, you see, by gvSIG Association. And something similar we performed as well in Somalia. That this is basically how the GIS of Somaliland looks like. And for this aspect, it was Maurice Fodra who speak about this experience in Somaliland. So I give the speech to him.
Okay, Giuliano.
Yes.
Here I am.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. You forgot to say that the WebGIS for Somaliland is the future activities that we hope to do, right? And then I show you this activity as a future activity of the project that we made in Somaliland in the 2012. Right, Giuliano?
I didn't get your voice because I missed the voice, but I think that it was more at the same time that 2012 in Somaliland and 2011 or more or less was in Kenya.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I start, or we expect for some questions?
Yes, you can start. You can share your screen. Your
okay.
desktop. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, it's working.
Okay, can you hear me well?
Yes, it's working.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Okay, good afternoon again to everyone. As Mario Carrera told you before, my name is Maurizio Fodera, and I am a surveyor and a colleague of Giuliano that you have heard before about the experience in Kenya. With Giuliano, we have been in Somaliland in 2012, and Somaliland local government is trying to develop a policy of a transfer of knowledge in different sectors, and among these, the capacity of urban management and planning. In this framework, in this vision, we have supported the Italian NGO Terre Solidali to train the Gabilei municipality technical staff and make them able to produce precision cadastral maps of buildings together with a socio-economic survey. In particular, to set up a field data collection and data entry procedure to customize the nav form as well as produce collected data in a open source GIS. Okay, let's have a look to a gallery of images to focus the environment and the context where we have worked and developed our project. As you can see, we worked in a situation of poverty and underdevelopment. The main goal of this activity was to provide local partners and authorities with a GIS product that is easy to use and update regularly, is fully developed with open source technology to ensure future sustainability, can be replicated in other main similar neighboring environments, can be linked with existing data procedures, can be highly customized and eventually translated in local languages, and finally is able to provide a precise measurements of interesting targets. In this image, some preliminary meetings to understand the real needs of local partners. In this slide, we can see the activities workflow. Everything started from training. Training in classroom to learn to transfer the GIS knowledge, and training in the field to learn how to collect the geodata. The gvSIG release used was the 1.12 portable, a stable version that allowed us to make a good training about GIS, but in the same time to produce the maps that we planned to do. In these pictures, some moments about the training in classroom, GPS training made by me, and the GIS training made by Giuliano. In a preliminary step, it was very important to transfer to the local technicians the theory about the GPS and the GIS system. But also, this step was important to understand the vocations of the attendees. In fact, we understood who was a GPS man and who was a GIS man for the next steps of the survey on the field and the storing, editing, and analysis of the collected data in Office. In order to provide an accurate precision about the survey of the building, we used differential GPS that allowed us to obtain a sub-centimeter accuracy. As you can see in these pictures, the differential GPS allows to survey the edges, or in particular the corner of the buildings, with a good accuracy. As you know, this is not possible if I use an handheld GPS. In fact, in that case, I obtain a 35 meters accuracy. Also, like in Kenya, we have defined, together with local staff, one complete field form, identifying as well the domains for any single field to be collected. And at the same time, we have collected high precision measurements. So, a customized gvSIG extension has been developed, and a user-friendly interface based on nav table forms to enter the data to drop-down lists and checkboxes. This customized gvSIG extension has been developed to allow to the user throughout the entire workflow to realize the workflow activities. In particular, these extensions guides the user throughout the workflow activities from GPS points data load, in particular export from the 3D shape point to 2D shapefile point. The 3D shapefile point are the points that I survey with the GPS system. Then the creation of polygons by derivative geometries, and then data entry by the customized form previously described. Okay, in the next slide, you can see these steps. This is the tool that allow me to export to 2D shape from the 3D shape point. Then the other tools, the other tool is the quick labels. The quick labels allow me to label a vector layer using the value that are contained in the first column of the attribute table, and it can be applied both to polygons as to points layers. The other one tool is the derivative geometries. This tool allows me to create a polygon from the points that I surveyed with my GPS system, and I can obtain a closed polygon that represent my building, the building that I surveyed. Finally, the open form that is similar to the open form that you have seen before in the presentation of Giuliano. And this form, I can acquire my collected data on the field, and data entry is made easier through drop-down list or checkbox. Also, I can select and activate an hyperlink, for example, to an image, and acquire all the data that I collected on the field. This is the function hyperlink that allowed me to link the image that we acquired on the field, linked to the building. Okay. Finally, the extension allow me to produce an output. In particular, a maps customized for subjects, size, scale, and legend. And this is an example of the maps of a map that we produced as the output of our project. Okay. Let's have a look to the results, and I am near the conclusion. The achieved results in Somaliland have been pretty good, because if we consider that the local trained people did not have any previous knowledge, neither on GPS nor on GIS, the results were optimal. During the around 30 days of field collection activities, more than 800 polygons have been surveyed, and ancillary socio-economical data and photos have been acquired. Training activities on how to query the field data allowed local technicians to get derived information in a fast and effective way. Okay, what is the future? The future surely is the possibility to make the collected data available for the local communities. If we, in the future, can use, for example, gvSIG Online, the platform that allows me to publish and share collected data, we can reach the possibility to set up a WebGIS service implemented with open source solution and with short remote training for local staff in order to transfer the capability to manage the service independently even after the conclusion of the project. In conclusion, through this tool that you saw, a technical office has been trained and provided with a GIS tool, making them able to map actual situation and plan future activities. It has to be taken into consideration that the adoption of a fully open source technology ensure future sustainability of the data collection, storage and management, as well as the possibility to stay in touch with dynamic web communities. Okay, thank you very much, grazie, and enjoy with GIS and GPS.
Thank you very much, Maurizio, Giuliano. One question would be about training. It has been difficult for students to learn to use GIS. It has been difficult to learn gvSIG in this case.
Giuliano, as well.
Well, let's say it was. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure it was difficult as anything that starts from zero. But basically, I think that the portable version was pretty good to let's say to train about GIS and GPS. So my idea was, yes, it was difficult, but not so difficult and as we expected before. So I mean, it was difficult, but not so much, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So it has been a very clear presentation, very good case study, and thank you very much, Giuliano, Maurizio, and all the participants.
Okay. Thanks a lot to you.
Okay, we are going to continue with the next webinar now.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you very much to everyone.
Bye.
Bye.